that was how the second half started, because we started okay, and we did seem to be having more effect. And like you say, at 1-0 we could come back into it, but then it was just one of the most. I don't know how to put this politely without getting the club in trouble. So I'll say whatever I say over the next minute is me, nothing to do with the club. But it was one of the most shocking goals I've ever seen, and then one of the most ridiculous red cards. And I know you can't say the ref lost us the game, but that one decision of his had a huge impact on the game.
Agreed on both of those points. I think we're here to debrief the game, and if one of our players has missed an open goal or committed a horrendous act of foul play, we talk about it. So when a major talking point is something to do with the officials, I don't see why we can't talk about it in a constructive manner. I'm not looking for a witch hunt. I'm not making any personal comment about anybody as a human being, but it's a poor decision, and I can support that with video evidence. I've spoken with their players in the bar who couldn't believe the goal was given. He hasn't just handled it; he's punched it into the goal. His arm is fully extended.
Yeah, it's not like it's just bounced off his hand.
Yeah.
He's absolutely stretched. He's had to stretch to get round to punch it as well.
And the reason he's had to do that is because he's been very tightly marked by Heinze. There was no way he could have got his head on it. So, we may still have lost the game 1-0. We'll never know. So I'm not going to claim that's the reason we've lost the game. But in the 55th minute, to go 2-0 down to a blatantly handball goal, which the referee and the linesman haven't seen, the guy who's done it is on a yellow card. So by the law of the game, the goal should be disallowed. He should receive a second yellow card. We've then got a good half an hour attacking 10 men with Trev and Lucas amongst others on the bench to bring on. As it is, the goal stands. Everybody's bemused. You've only got to watch the video. Their players are going to the linesman first, expecting the flag to go up. And when it doesn't, they run off in amazement as much as anything else. Our players have clearly gone to the ref. Now, Heinze probably has overstepped the mark, from what I understand, in as much as he swore. But, you can bleep this if you want. What he's actually said is, how can you allow that? He's fucking punched it in. Now, to be fair, he's stating a fact. I mean, is that dissent? Someone who knows more about officiating will probably say that is dissent and it's a second yellow and he deserves to get his marching orders. But if the decision ain't given, I mean, it is poor.
Yeah.
It is so poor. It is kind of unfathomable. But look, it's happened.
It changed the whole complex of the game from rather than being 1-0 down against 10 men, we're 2-0 down with 10 men.
Exactly.
And it's
and credit to Blair, because that isn't their fault.
Yeah.
Their guy's seen an opportunity and he's took it, however means necessary. They've got away with it, and absolutely no sour grapes in terms of Blair. But me and Wayne were already, we were talking about possibly changing the formation, possibly talking about adding a little bit of width. Can't really do that with 10 men because it now becomes a little bit of a salvage mission. And I still thought we gave it a good go, and incidentally were denied a pretty clear penalty, which again I can back up with video evidence if anyone wants to challenge me on it. But yeah, in addition to that, we've missed the one-on-one, which is not on the officials at all, and it just wasn't our day, was it?
The point what I'd like to make is, again, we were talking about how it doesn't necessarily affect the overall we lost because we lost.
Yeah.
But it was one of the most annoying performances for a ref for a long time, because it wasn't just, like you said, a penalty that we weren't given. It wasn't just the goal that we weren't given. Over the whole game. And again, it's not the club, it's not everybody else, it's me saying it. He just looked, either he had an issue with us or he wasn't very good, because the number of times where D got a booking where he was actually tackled, and then within a minute, Joffrey's completely flattened, nothing. There's another one where the player ends up lying on top of Trev, nothing again. And their guys are getting up and just laughing.
Well, I think there was another
You know,
one where he pulled it back.
Yeah.
When Mo was through. Well, not through,
But
but was in.
It was player advantage.
And you're thinking,
yeah.
But look, yeah, if we were, I'll be a bit restrained about what I comment on that, to be honest.
It's just a frustrating time because, yeah, we lost influences, but I guess it's like we needed to say, it was just one of those days where it just felt we were never just going to score.
Yeah, I mean, look,
You know,
I am not blaming the defeat purely on the officials. No way. I'm not that stupid. We didn't create enough chances. The ones that we did manage to create, we didn't have anyone clinical enough to finish. We have then had a horrendous turn of events that has pulled the game significantly away from our grasp, and despite giving it a pretty good go in terms of effort, we weren't able to break down a stubborn side who fought tooth and nail for a long overdue victory, which you could see in the bar afterwards meant a lot to them, and so it should. So, you know, it ain't the first time that we've had a result that maybe some of the supporters and people neutral might think we should have done better in, but it is unfortunately, you've got no given right, and if we can't get our noses in front, we do tend to struggle. There are a few exceptions. We come back from 2-0 down to beat Snodland 3-2, notably. So we have got it in our locker. But yeah, predominantly we're a lot better when we take the lead.
yeah. And I mean, that sets us up for next week, because we're going to have done with some points because last weekend, because you got Hollands next. And like you said before, that's going to be a tough one.
Yeah, we have to be careful. I fell into this trap last season. You know, like even with that defeat, and I'm not going to gloss over it, but it's done. There's nothing I can do about it. I still think we've won 5 out of the last 7, which you kind of think to yourself, well, that's pretty good, you know. Like, but you know, one of them's the League Cup against Banstead, and 2 of them are rounds of the Vars. So actually, when you look at our league form, it's not fantastic. We beat Banstead, which was a very good result. Actually, they've gone on a little bit of a nosedive since that, which again just shows the sort of psychology of football at this level. But yeah, we need to pick up some wins, and I'm looking down the road ahead, and I'm seeing Holmesdale, I'm seeing Kennington, and I'm thinking, well, there's nothing there that's going to be remotely easy. And you know, Andy and Dan are both good managers, and yeah, you know, there's no givens. So we are just going to have to knuckle down and work as hard as we can.
Yeah, well, hopefully fans get behind you while we're away.
That's the main thing. Yeah, you know, like it was interesting. You know, like Saturday, because of the setup at Blair, which is actually very good, the fans are a lot closer to me than they normally are, because obviously normally you're on the south stand, and it was quite interesting to be able to hear. You know, there was quite a lot of discontent actually, which in a way I think, well, that's good, because clearly people think we're good enough that we should be going and winning games like that. But you know, also, yeah, it does make me think to myself, you know, like sometimes people do need to realise what we are, what we're working with. Yeah, you know, and just sort of keeping things in perspective as much as possible, because it's a hell of a lot easier when people are behind us in a positive manner.
Yeah. Well, hopefully that's what happens next week.
Absolutely.
Cheers.
Cheers.